Toss-up number 1. In a game partially titled for this color, Jose Gonzalez's Far Away plays as you enter a new area in a pivotal scene. You collect fruits of this color in Celeste. This color of the strongest armor in Quake and least valuable spice in Spore is the color of enemies in a shooter where time only moves when you move and of the color of the most common grub dog. This color of the starter knight that shoots lightning in Castle Crashers and the levels after you beat Mom in The Binding of Isaac is the color of the zone where bombs drop in PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. This color is present in the name of the division of CD Projekt that makes the Witcher games. For 10 points, name this title color of a Western-themed Rockstar game and of Knuckles, the Echidna. And that answer is red. I could have also accepted Red Dead Redemption. I could have also accepted strawberry. A character with this name, this is toss-up 2, a character with this name is created from Kazuya Mishima after he meets and falls in love with Jun Kazama. The last words of a character with this name are, "Dad, I have to tell you something. You're an asshole." Twin beings of this type use fire and lightning and drop their giant claws on death. This is the last word in the title of a song whose opening lyrics translate to burning inside with violent anger. One of these non-human beings named Ava married Sparta and gave birth to Virgil. A Swiss character designed after one of these creatures uses Caduceus' staff to 2 beams to buff or heal allies. But her ultimate no longer revives all nearby teammates. For 10 points, name these creatures battled by Bayonetta and including Dante's mother and the one-winged Sephiroth. And those would be angels. Toss-up 3. A game with this adjective in the title gives party members either an affliction or a virtue when their stress reaches 100, and they die of a heart attack once it reaches 200. 3 shrines described by this word are found in the Witch's Hut from Stardew Valley. This is the first word in the subtitle of the game D4. This adjective partly titles a game in which you fight an albino dragon who created the moonlight butterflies and a giant wolf holding a sword in its mouth, as well as a game in which the Charred Council accuses war of upsetting the balance between heaven and hell. A protagonist with this last name named Joanna fights aliens at the Carrington Institute. When combined with Perfect, this is the name of the rare shooter succeeding GoldenEye 007. For 10 points, name this adjective in the title of a From Software game with a Prepare to Die edition. That answer is dark. It's not losing your soul, but the last line of the Cuphead intro song refers to this consequence for the main characters if they proceed but don't succeed. Juliet does this to her boyfriend Nick in order to save him in one game. The Divider can do this to Isaac in a special cutscene, and this happens to Helios at the end of his boss fight, after which he is turned into a weapon. One event of this type is preceded by the phrase, "My ancestors are smiling at me, Imperial. Can you say the same?" But the player character is spared from this fate by the appearance of a dragon in the opening of Skyrim. Scenes depicting this action by chainsaw-wielding Ganado are one reason why the Resident Evil series is censored in Japan. For 10 points, name this action which many games require you to do to zombies to kill them. And the answer there is decapitation. I would have had to prompt on death or execution. 5th toss-up. This is the last word in the title of a game in which the protagonist is scarred by a rock thrown by Bast, who calls her a no-mother. That protagonist can find 5 power cells to unlock the Shield Weaver armor. This is the last word in the name of a weapon that ended the Pendulum Wars. That weapon is a satellite laser used by COG to combat the Locust. This is the first word in a screen that displays 24 hours remain at the bottom in white text on a black background. The female player character in the 4th-gen Pokemon games has this name, and a game with this time period in its title sees Aloy fight robot dinosaurs. For 10 points, name this time period following Horizon Zero in the title of a 2017 PS4 game. That answer is dawn. Toss-up 6. In the crypt of the Necrodancer, items made of this substance do 4 times as much damage. 50 frost crystals are required to make this substance in No Man's Sky. In a location titled for this substance, you can die instantly unless the mark of negation is cleared by walking into a fountain of light. That location can be opened by simultaneously activating 3 sync plates. In that raid name for this substance, you defeat Aphion times Conflux. In the Elder Scrolls games, malachite is used to make an armor of this type. A French character named for this substance is very weak and Little Mac's first opponent. That character's name is Joe, and he appears in Punch-Out! For 10 points, name this substance, which many crafting games let you make by burning sand. That substance is glass. Toss-up 7. In Bookworm, these kinds of tiles automatically move downwards. A route of this type in Paradise City involves driving a specific car to a specific location. A very short game named after this action involves dropping a chandelier on the grinning Colossus, a black rectangle with eyes. It's not touching them, but in Dig Dug you can die due to monsters in this manner. Sargeras created a legion described by this word, whose members include Jaraxxus. The first expansion to World of Warcraft, which introduced the Draenei and Blood Elves, was titled after a crusade of this type, which is how GLaDOS' cores died. For 10 points, name this manner of death of Sims who are very bad at cooking. That would be burning or set on fire. Toss-up 8. Description acceptable. This action is required to reveal the map in Takeshi's Challenge, and performing this action unlocks the alternate ending of Far Cry 4 and Far Cry 5. Belch's factory can be accessed in this manner, and Sans dies after trying to win in this manner in Undertale. In the Stanley Parable, the narrator gets irritated if you do this action in the broom closet and will eventually board it off, and this action can award you bubbles in World of Warcraft. Sonic will tap his foot and Mario will go to sleep if you perform this action. For 10 points, name this action which Farmville forces you to do to make crops grow. And that is doing nothing. Or I could have accepted waiting, resting, being idle, not taking your turn, not playing the game. A sequel to the quest with this name requires you to speak with Bob the Cat after going to the house on the hill on Fossil Island. A boss with this moniker resides in the Cathedral of Blue, and another version of that boss drops an item that boosts counter damage by 40%. One quest with this name requires you to have a wizard's mind bomb and 90 steel nails, get through Melzar's maze, and travel to Crandor. A buff of this name can grant 4 benefits and can be obtained from Cloud and Mountain versions of an enemy, and this is the name of a Nihon Falcom series whose spin-offs included The Legend of Heroes. In RuneScape, you must complete a quest of this name to wear rune plate bodies, the hardest free-to-play quest. The partner of Executioner Smog, Ornstein, has this occupation. For 10 points, give this occupation which suggests that one may kill beings like Deathwing. That would be a Dragon Slayer. And final toss-up, this action nullifies a metaphor for the inevitability of death in an XKCD comic. After seeing one version of a certain scene, Conan O'Brien asked if this was a corresponding action for I'm here because I thought I might meet somebody. On PC, this action lets you swap your offhand item in Minecraft and interact with objects in Dishonored. You can go faster than the ski-free monster by doing this action. The most infamous version of this action succeeds at a Kevin Spacey cameo and makes Jack Mitchell touch the top of a funeral casket in a quick-time event. For 10 points, name this action which you do to, quote, pay respects, unquote, in an infamous scene from Call of Duty. That answer is pressing F. I could have also accepted holding or pressing X for those on consoles, but would have had to prompt on paying respects, going faster, or similar answers.